Well, Nvidia's second quarter earnings surpassed analysts' already lofty expectations for the tech giant. But while Wall Street is hoping other chip makers jump deeper into AI, the question is Nvidia cornering the market. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley joining us with more. Dan, it's worth noting this stat again, 90% of the GPU market, right? Specifically on AI. Nvidia already has it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for companies to kind of overcome this. I mean, it's beyond a first mover advantage, right? When it comes to AI and Nvidia at this point, they're just dominating the market in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. I mean, you can think of Apple in the smartphone space. Even they don't have the market share that Nvidia has right now. And it really goes back to the investments that they made years ago. They were originally a gaming company, and then they opened up to developers and said, go nuts with what you can. And that led to the investments that they have now in AI. And, I remember years and years ago when they were going on about AI at a conference they were doing, I just kept thinking, man, just get to the gaming stuff. I want to hear about that. And lo and behold, this is absolutely paying off in the biggest way possible. I mean, you can look at Intel and AMD not having the best time of it. Intel especially, they've just been struggling mightily as they try to turn that ship around, build out their foundry business, working with other companies along the way. AMD, it is a competitor in the space, but it just can't touch what Nvidia is doing. And I think part of that is because AMD is split between the two worlds. They do CPUs and GPUs, and yeah, you would think that that's good for them because it allows them to play in both spaces, but it also means that their attention is divided, whereas NVIDIA is all about GPUs, and they're putting all of their effort into that. The other big thing about NVIDIA is that they work the software behind the hardware. So they're full stacked, soup to nuts. So that's how they have that advantage there. And part of the reason why Intel, AMD, we talk about Qualcomm, we can talk about ARM as much as those companies are talking about getting into AI as well. But it's the reason why they're able to hold off competitors at this point.
It is certainly a massive first mover advantage, at least for now, when we talk about the fact that they account for nearly all of that market share and the demand simply that is there. There are, though, some risks here for NVIDIA potentially down the road. We've talked a little bit about supply, but what does that look like and what else should investors keep in mind? Yeah,
so that was something that came up on the earnings call with supply and China. The two things that people were really worried about was, can NVIDIA keep up with supply with TSMC and its other suppliers? Can they meet customer demand, which is just through the roof? And can they meet the expectations that they'll continue to provide products if there is an issue with China, if we see further sanctions against exporting from the U.S. to China? And basically, what the company's CFO had said was, there's no problem. Our suppliers are working well with us. They're ramping up. They're ramping up through this year and into the next. And they're also not going to experience any issues if there are additional sanctions against exporting to China. So right now, they're sitting pretty. I mean, you can't look at them and say, there's no problems. I'm sure that eventually supply will be an issue. But at this point, they're saying, look, up to 2024, we're pretty damn set.
All right. And again, stock up over 220% since the start of the year. Dan, thanks.